Cocaine Bear, the true story of a bear that ate 70 pounds of cocaine, by James Felton, from iflscience.com. On September 11th, 1985, an old man in Kentucky woke up and went outside, where he found the corpse of a man in his driveway, which would have been unusual to start a Wednesday even if the corpse wasn't wearing a bulletproof vest and strapped to a parachute, which he was. This was just a small part in his ensemble, which included night vision goggles, several handguns, and around $14 million worth of cocaine. The elderly gentleman phoned the police, as you well might have in this sort of situation, who identified the body as one Andrew C. Thornton II, a former paratrooper, narcotics officer, and lawyer who combined these unique skill sets when he became a parachute drug smuggler for a kingpin known as the Company. Thornton, who had received a Purple Heart after being injured while deployed to the Dominican Republic during a revolution, had set his plane on autopilot before jumping from it, and was to hand on the cocaine once landing safely in Kentucky. While the plane crashed 60 miles away, he fell to the ground. It is unknown whether his parachute failed to deploy or he had merely left too late. His friend said that he likely liked to play games of waiting as long as possible before opening it. Hell, you don't get into drug smuggling parachuting under the cover of night because you don't like risks. But what of the cocaine bear? I hear you ask. The bear who liked to eat cocaine. Well, some 3 months later, in the National Forest in Georgia, near where the plane was found, a 175-pound black bear was discovered, surrounded by not one, but 40 open plastic bags that contained traces of cocaine. Despite the heavy weight of the bear, it was no match for the 70 pounds of cocaine that the packages used to house, and it had died of an overdose. Its stomach was literally packed to the brim with cocaine, the medical examiner who looked inside exclaimed. There isn't a mammal on the planet that could have survived that. Cerebral hemorrhage, respiratory failure, hypothermia, renal failure, heart failure, stroke, you name it, the bear had it. Despite the state of the bear's insides, the outside looked pretty good. The examiner sent the body to be stuffed. After this, it went to live in the visitor center of the National Recreation Area. Following a fire, the bear was moved to Dalton, where soon afterwards it went missing. By the time other artifacts that were stolen were found in a pawn shop, the bear had already been sold to a country music legend. From here, the black bear made its way to Vegas, where it lived in the mansion of Ron Thomas, a man who would organize fun for millionaires while they were in the cities, where it remained for years. It then headed to Reno, having been bought by Lung Tong, a owner of traditional Chinese medicine shop. After Townsend died and his possessions were auctioned off, it remained in the shop for many years, scaring the hell out of Tang's wife. The bear was finally traced to Kentucky, who exclaimed its backstory, after which it was happily returned to Kentucky in 2016. But tourists can see it in Kentucky Fun Mall in North Lexington, a fitting resting place for a poor bear that was curious about a bag of cocaine and ate it, then devoured 39 further bags of cocaine. I think that was pretty good.